Hi everyone! I'm very happy and excited to be here and talk to you in this amazing conference. In the next 30 minutes, I will try to answer this very interesting question. Can the big pain of game studios in the hyper casual gaming industry be solved? Now, if you are a game developer, or of course, if you are leading a gaming studio, you probably have thought about this question quite a bit. So, I will try to provide an answer in the next 30 minutes. By the way, if you have any questions during this session, feel free to post them in the chat, and I will dedicate 5 minutes at the end of this talk for question and answers. So I think we are ready to start. I'm Roee Raz, founder and CEO at Ovivo Games. Ovivo Games was founded in September 2019. We are based in Tel Aviv, sunny Israel, and we are having also a strong Ovivo team that is located in Ukraine. We're focused on publishing high quality, hyper casual games, and we are committed to create new innovative publishing opportunities, as you will find out very soon in the next few minutes. Now, in order to answer the main question of this talk, I would like to start by better understanding the partnership and the relationship between the publisher and the developer. So we have gaming studios, amazing gaming studios on the one hand, and publishers, great publishers on the other hand. Now, the gaming studio or the game developer knows how to create great games, but for building a successful business, the developer need a publisher. Of course, now let's speak about the publisher. So the publisher is the one who actually brings the game to the market. The publisher take care of the user acquisition, testing the user acquisition, marketability test, funds the user acquisition activity in the marketing activity, manage the monetization, manage the product, manage the BI, and bottom line, create a lot of tests and in order to evaluate the game's performance or the game potential to be a successful one. Now, this is how basically this partnership looks. Both sides obviously want this partnership to scale in order to scale with the game and bring the game to the market and build a successful business, but each side have different perspectives, and it's crucial to understand that. Now let's start one by one. Let's start from the operation side. So the publisher is having a huge operation, several dozen or several hundred employees, while on the development side or the developer side or the studio, a lean operation with a lean headcount. So this is the first main difference in the point of view of each of the sides. Now let's talk about their main activity. So the publisher main activity is testing many different games every month in the US market only, while the developer main activity is creating 3 to 5 prototypes. Some of these prototypes are paid by the publisher, like in a pay-per prototype model, but creating few prototypes per month, and or alternatively work on a full game that might take few weeks of development. So again, main activity is like low scale, 3 to 5 prototypes versus huge scale, testing many different games every month. Now let's talk about the business plan of each side. So the business plan on the publisher side is to focus on top charts games or games with the potential to hit the charts, with the potential to generate 7 figures on the revenue. What about the developer or the studio? So they aim to create games that bring in 4 to 5 figures per month per game. So they are more focused on generating profits on 4 or 5 figures. Of course, the more the better. But this is the main business plan. So different perspective leads or produce different goals. And it's super important to understand that. different perspectives produce different goals. Now, once we understand that, let's see how the mainstream publishing strategy looks like, which is basically, at least for some of the gaming studios, is one of the pain generators. So let's start. This is like the mainstream publishing strategy. So it always starts with the marketability test. The budget is around $500. Market will be US only at this phase. The main channels will be Facebook and Instagram, measuring CTR and CPI with main KPI of generating CPI that is lower than 35 cents. Of course, it differs between the publishers. Some set more hard to reach CPI goal, 30 cents. Some will set a little bit easier goal, like 40 cents. But again, the chances to pass this test is like 15% chance. So if you are if you were not lucky enough to move forward in the process, you will end up with a game over. And if you were lucky enough, and let's be positive here, if you are lucky enough, you move to the next phase of the process, which is the retention test, where the budgets are much higher, the market remains US, channel remain Facebook and Instagram, measuring retention day 1, day 3, day 7, ARPU day 1, day 3, day 7. ARPU day 7 is quite the same as the lifetime value of the user most of the time when speaking about hyper casual. Of course, in this phase, the publisher will measure also engagement rate on different ad placements, usage rate on different ad placements, in order to optimize and evaluate the potential of this game to be successful. While the main KPIs of this phase is retention, day 1 of 45% or more, and day 7 retention of 15% or of course, or higher. Now, in this case, the chances to pass this test are much lower than the marketability test. We're talking about 5% chance to meet the retention KPI. But for sure, if you manage to reach to the full scale phase, like the last phase of this process, you are very happy because you are on your right way to bring the game to the top of the charts. Now, this is the pain, because only 1% of the games manage to do it, and 99% of the games are rejected. And it's not because of these games are not good enough. They're just not profitable enough for the publisher. Remember the publisher perspective that is focused on seven figures games with a potential of hitting the charts. So yeah, these games on the 99% that get reject from the publisher probably will not hit the charts. But if the main question, if they can generate profits. So what we did in Vivo, we made a research on focusing on this 99% because we felt that it feels like something is broken in this industry. So we focused on these 99% rejected games and realized that up to 90% of the games can be profitable. These insights led us to create and launch the Game Changer program, which is a new innovative publishing approach that's actually answered the big pain of the gaming studios and increased their chances to publish their game by 90%, like 90 times higher chance to bring the game to the market and generate profits. Now, I will go briefly on the main differences between the Game Changer program and the mainstream publishing program. Later on, right after this slide, I will show you a case study that that present actual numbers and explain it much better. So let's start with the main KPIs. So we are focused on CPI, like we're talking about CPI that is lower than the lifetime value worldwide. So as long as the CPI is lower than the lifetime value, we are generating profits, and we believe that the world is huge. So we ask why only US, and we ask like what about the rest of the world, and what about the other channels? Why only Facebook? So why not running in campaigns on many different good and even great marketing channels in order to publish a game. So this is the first main difference, the main KPI. The second one is that we are focused on full games. We believe that full games can be optimized. Our product team can do their magic on full games based on A/B test in order to ignore gut feelings and optimize the games based on data. And with prototypes, we have almost nothing to do. But full games, there is a lot of potential to improve the game and make it much with much better performance. Our focusing is in 4 to 5 figures profits. Of course, the higher the better, but we are looking at the business, like our business plan is actually aligned with the game studio's business plan. So we will start with 4 to 5 figures profits per game per month, and then increase the volume healthy, with of course aiming to generate more and more and more. And as mentioned, 20% chances to get published versus 1% chances to get published with the mainstream publishing program, which is, by the way, not a bad decision to go with the mainstream publishing. You just need to be aware of the chances to actually bring the game to the market and actually generate these millions of dollars, which is, as we understand, pretty low. So let's speak about this case study that I'm pretty sure will explain the whole thing in a very I would say detailed way. So what you see in this sophisticated graph is actually a level funnel graph, a classic level funnel graph that is every color, every line in this graph represents a month, starting from January. The blue one is January, the red is February, yellow March, and then April. Well, of course, as like in order to optimize level funnel, what we want to make is like a graph that look as a line that looks as the green one. Now let's see what we did here. So the initial state was, as you can see, in the blue color. So 50% of the users churned in level 3. 50% of the users left the game in level 3. This was the initial state. What we did is that, so Shani, our amazing product manager that was assigned to this project, accepted the challenge and started by running A/B test on the level order in order to optimize the level order. And by remote config and A/B test, we actually managed to improve performance. On Merch, then she added new meta features from our bank of generic modules. We have a bank of generic modules, the generic features, where we can add them to every core game loop and or core gameplay, and run A/B test, and then again optimize the game performance. And this is what happened in Merch. In April, where you can see the green graph, we were like more focused, or Shani, our product manager, was more focused on the shop and the characters, and added more characters that are more like based on trends like Squid Games and Poppy, and managed to make it. So bottom line, the goal was achieved, and we moved the 50% user churn from level 3 to much deeper level in the funnel, level 9, and as a result, we reached 38% day one retention by improving the level funnel. So this was the effort that was made on the product side. Here you can see the monthly active user increase month by month. Again, it was like we increased volume in order to support the A/B testing on both the product team, to support the A/B testing on the product team, on the product side, and of course also on the user acquisition side and the monetization on the monetization side. So here, what you see is the actual performance. We believe in transparency. So here you can see the actual revenue performance of this game between January this year and May. So during six-month long process, we generated more than $100,000, and it's, by the way, it's just the beginning. As you can see, the revenue trend goes only like one way, month by month. So it's and again, it's a game. I think I didn't mention it, and it's super important. This game was rejected by one of the biggest mainstream publishing houses, and as you can see, this game can generate profits, and again, increase month by month. Now you might ask yourself if Prison Escape is exceptional case, and I think that the answer can found here. What you see in this graph is just five games from our portfolio. By the way, not our leading games, but pretty okay games. They're generating pretty decent revenue results. The orange area, as you can see here in this graph, is represent Prison Escape. So you can see you already know Prison Escape performance. So now you have a reference to our other games. And again, these games are not our best ones, not our leading ones. And I think that this is basically the answer to the main question of this talk. So thank you for listening to this talk. I hope you find it useful. I hope you enjoyed it at least as much as I did. And now I'd love to answer your questions. So if you didn't post any question yet, this is the time. We have a few minutes at the end of this talk right now. So thanks again, and thanks for having me. Bye-bye.